If you haven't made any plans for this coming weekend, don't worry. We have just the thing for you, and it is suitable for the whole family.
Indeed. On Saturday and Sunday, you can be taking part in the National Big Garden Birdwatch. And Jamie Weaver from the RSPB joined us tonight in the show. Welcome to the...
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
So basically, you're asking me to stand at my window and just look into the garden.
Well, it's not just staring into space for an hour. What people tend to do is gather the family. So you can do it on your own, or you can bring the whole family together, because it is actually quite fun. And what you can do is put some food out to start with, and I can tell you a little bit more about the food in a minute if you like, and then see what comes. And there's a whole variety of amazing birds that will come to your garden. You'll be very surprised, actually, if you haven't spent an hour. Even as a die-hard bird watcher, I don't often sit and look at my own garden for an hour, so it always comes as a surprise to me what drops in.
And it's kind of scientifically, it's actually a very important study, isn't it? I mean, people who take part this weekend, I'm really encouraging our viewers to take part with their families. It makes a massive difference to how we monitor the success or the danger to certain species here in the UK.
It absolutely does, and we've actually identified over the years, this has been running, this is the 36th year we're now doing this, started in 1978. We've actually picked up on very serious trends in things like song thrush, massive declines that we started to pick up on in the 1980s. House sparrows, we've lost 65% of our house sparrows
That's a phenomenal
in the UK since the 70s. And we can kind of pick up on those things. And when the Big Garden Birdwatch identifies those, we can then go to our scientists and say, OK, guys, we want you to look into this in a bit more detail and see if we can do anything to help.
Wow.
It's a very valuable
It's just 36 years.
36 years.
Wow.
So there's a lot of data that we can look back at and
well, look,
let's
let's look forward to this weekend, because I'm not sure how many of our viewers actually can recognise birds.
Exactly.
I certainly can't.
I don't know.
So we've got a series of images
beautiful
that will help us
pictures,
to point out to our viewers what to watch out for today.
Okay.
So the first bird coming up is a blackbird.
Blackbird. Now this is
Pretty straightforward.
really easy, straightforward.
It's a bird that's black.
It's a large, smallish bird, bright orange beak. They're the ones you hear singing usually in the evening and in the morning. And they like to hop around on the ground, feed on maybe a bit of old fruit, if you have some sort of old mashed up apples you put out for them.
Okay. And this is, of course, the bird from the famed nursery rhyme, Sing a Song of Sixpence.
It certainly is. 4 and 20 blackbirds baked in a pie.
Well, we won't be baking them anymore.
Can we do that as well?
No, but the interesting thing about that is it's supposed to be actually a coded message for, I think it was for, like, for pirates to get their crews together or something.
Was it indeed?
Yeah, it has some historical significance.
So, and the key thing there is the beak, isn't it? It's an all blackbird with that little
orange beak.
Orange beak.
The females are brown, but the same shape, so you can kind of pick them out.
Okay, the next one is a blue tit, and this is something that's a very common sight, or previously was a very common sight around the UK. How are the numbers of... it's a very, very beautiful...
I've never seen one of them in my life.
Oh, you must have...
You've not been looking.
You've not been looking. That's a beautiful
That looks like somewhere in the tropics.
They've got stunning colours, and the brighter the male blue tit's colour, the more attractive he is to a mate.
Yeah.
They are amazing little agile birds, and they're the ones that will come to your hanging feeders. So if you hang up peanuts, they'll come and hang on those.
That's right.
So they're not very shy then, are they?
Not at all. No. They are one of the commoner ones that you'll see in your garden.
Yeah.
What about, do some of the birds sit on different types of branches as well? I mean.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you think a blue tit is a tiny.
So I'm just looking at this one.
Yeah. So what's the one we've got up now?
Blue
tits weigh as much as a pound coin. They are tiny.
Oh,
so they can perch right on the ends of twigs. So they'll be right on the end of twigs. So obviously heavier birds need a heavier branch to sit on.
Yeah.
OK, so let's go to a third one, a chaffinch.
Chaffinch, again, a fairly common bird. And the male's got the beautiful kind of pink breast.
I've never seen that one before either.
Hops around on the ground, feeds on seeds. At this time of year, you'll get little flocks of them hopping around feeding, and they're sometimes joined by a more colourful bird called a brambling, which is kind of orange and black, that flies down from Scandinavia for the winter.
I think I could be sitting out in my garden this weekend.
Well, the next one is called a nuthatch.
Now, this is one of my favourites.
It's
so beautiful. It's kind of blue and orange. It's almost like a kingfisher in colours. It's got this black kind of bandit eye stripe.
Beautiful.
And it runs up and down tree trunks, and it's related to woodpeckers, actually.
Yeah.
And it'll go for peanuts. So if you hang peanuts up, you've got a good chance of seeing
I like his. I like that black mark.
It's stunning, isn't it?
I mean, the amazing thing is that our viewers. It is stunning.
You're going to wear one. You take one on.
I mean, the amazing thing is that our viewers. If they do this in their garden this weekend, they are going to see some of these beautiful animals, aren't they? Which they don't realise are frequenting their gardens all the time, and that can happen in the middle of the city. It can happen wherever you live, can't it?
Yeah. You just have to make that time to sit and look. Make yourself a cup of tea, sit down with the family, relax and enjoy it. It is enjoyable.
Before we get on to what's the best time of the day, what about the last one? We'll get to the starling.
Oh, now this is an amazing bird. If you see it from a distance, it just looks kind of black with a few dots.
Wow,
if you see it look close up, and there are so many colours in there. There's greens, there's purples, there's all sorts of sheen to it. And when you see them in these massive winter flocks, we call them a murmuration because of the noise they make as they move around. It's just an amazing kind of theatrical sight.
Can you get a view of that? You know, it's a very intricate design. It's a bit like my shirt, actually.
It's not far off your shirt, is it?
not,
Actually, it looks
no.
like he's wearing
Can you
your
get a
shirt.
good look at that from quite afar, do you think? Or do you need
They will
binoculars
come
or-
in quite close, and you'll get little parties of 10 or 20 coming into your garden to feed at once.
Wow.
They make an awful noise and a mess, and they squabble and they peck at each other, and they all kind of arrive at once. It's quite an interesting thing to watch, the drama of it.
Well, look, stay with us. But before we go, just quickly, what's a good time of the day to sit down?
So really good time of the day is first thing, because that's when birds have just woken
We're
up.
talking about first thing, 6, 7 in the morning?
No, wait till it's light. Wait till you can actually, you're
So
actually
we're looking
functional.
yeah, but 9 o'clock, 9:30.
Yeah, 9 o'clock is a really good time. 8, 9, 10 o'clock is a really, really good time because they're starting to move around. They're looking for their first feed of the day.
Fantastic. Well, listen, stay with us and we'll find out exactly what to leave out in the garden.
That's what we want to know. The food to leave out, and do we need
I might actually
binoculars?
do that on Sunday.
I'd like to know what
Okay,
food
what
to
should
leave
we-
out.
what
So there's
should we-
peanuts,
Because we want to attract as many birds as
Peanuts
possible.
are brilliant. So
mushy potatoes.
not salted peanuts. Just plain unsalted peanuts.
Unsalted
really good.
peanuts.
Bird seed, fat balls. A lot of these you can buy from the RSPB or other places. But then there's kitchen scraps as well. So you can use up cooked rice. You can use up old cheese, rotting apples.
Really?
Or
Really?
anything from the kitchen
Wow.
that's not salty, hasn't got oily fat that they can smear on their feathers.
Should it
Okay.
be put on a certain platform, table?
Yeah, try and keep it high off the ground. Then what I try to do is keep the bird food on a bird table or hanging from a bird feeder, which is out of the reach of cats.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
a
of
key
course.
thing when you've got cats around.
And if there's one bird, I mean, we showed those 5 birds. If there's one that we should really be looking out for this weekend, which one is it?
I think probably a really interesting one to look for would be one we haven't shown, which is the house sparrow.
Okay.
You can find a picture of that on our website, but that is one that's declined by
Declined by
65%.
And you mentioned the website, and it's really important. So people, if they want, get pictures of the bird so they know what they're looking at, they can have the iPad or they can have the computer in front of them, look out into the garden. I'm really encouraging people this weekend to get involved with that. Where do they find these pictures?
If you go to rspb.org.uk/birdwatch, you can not only do all that, but you can actually enter your results live, as it were. You can actually sit there with your iPad and type them in as you're looking out the window, with all the bird guides, all the tunes, all the pictures, all the video you need, just to help you identify those birds.
Superb.
Fantastic.
Lovely. Thank you so much.